Hey everyone, this is Charlie the Plug, your host of the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, powered by Empower You Ventures. Don't forget to subscribe so you too can be a part of the biggest empowerment network on YouTube and Facebook. We bring you weekly interviews of Detroit difference makers in the area of entrepreneurship, community involvement, also reaction to business news and community news. This does not happen without your support. Thank you. All right. Welcome to the Detroit Metro Plug podcast. I am Charles McKay, aka Charlie the Plug, and welcome to another episode 155. That's over 155 episodes of Detroit Difference Makers that we bring each week that talk about what they're doing, their positive contributions to the community. So I think that deserves some air horns. I want to thank those who are joining us live and want to encourage you to join in the chat if you have a comment or a question about our topic. Happy Wednesday. Some people refer to Wednesday as Hump Day.
Hump Day.
So happy Hump Day. We're here in Detroit at my location studio here at Midtown, and we're finally getting some summer weather. Michigan has been kind of funny. We had a extended spring, and we're finally getting some 80 degrees. So hopefully everybody who's in the Detroit area are enjoying this nice weather. So I'm excited about our topic today. We have a very special guest. We're going to sit down with the founder of Heal Black Women and the visionary behind Rhythmic Reflections, a coed indoor wellness festival happening Sunday, July 13th, 2025. Our guest is going to share her powerful journey and why this event is more than just a vibe. It's a healing movement. So thanks again for those who are watching us live. Again, if you have a question or comment, please join the chat. And please like and share. Let the social media streets know that positive, uplifting content is important too. So we got to trick this algorithm. All right. So I'm going to pull the full screen up and just do a little introduction of our guests. So our next guest for episode 155, she is a mother, mental health advocate, a visionary and founder of Heal Black Women, a nonprofit organization committed to helping Black women heal generational wounds and reclaim their identities. Her work is deeply personal, rooted in her own healing journey through complex family dynamics, attached wounds that comes from life through her debut book, Healing Your Hidden Child, From Guarded to Grounded, a powerful guide for women moving from self-protection to authenticity. Our next guest is currently, and I believe she's almost completed her degree in clinical mental health counseling. She serves as the program coordinator for workforce development and diversion at the Union. There, she piloted a 12-week curriculum for teen girls centered on attachment healing and self-identity, giving young women tools to build emotional regulation, self-trust, and a deeper sense of self-worth. She's also the co-creator of Rhythmic Reflections, Healing and Harmony in Healing. So we're going to talk more about that. She also is a mother raising two daughters, and she leads from a place of empathy and deep commitment to making healing both accessible and transformational for all. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 155, none other than Jazzmin Pitts.
Thank you. So happy to be here. Thank you. So happy to be here today. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So I did a little intro, so people can know you come official on the podcast. But for our audience, would you mind sharing just a little bit background, backstory, and how did you get to doing the work that you're doing? And if somebody was to ask you, who was Jazzmin, what would you tell them?
Jasmine is a human that got tired of her own mess.
Okay.
And was brave enough to do something about it. So
Okay.
one of the biggest things for me is, like you said, attachment healing.
Hmm.
That is something that is kind of becoming a phrase that everybody talks about,
Right. Right.
but not everybody understands.
Hmm.
Normally, it's talked about with as it refers to your relationships, but what I discovered through my own journey and also through schooling is
Yeah.
just how it can affect everything in your life.
Okay.
So for me, I come from a two-family household, thankfully,
Okay.
and had a relationship with my parents, but it was often sometimes um, emotionally draining, especially with my mother. But we learned and healed through, and with the steps that I've learned through school, with the intentional steps that I've taken with myself,
Hmm.
it just transformed my life. Learning about attachment, it was like looking at myself on a paper.
Hmm.
And it made me just wonder, like, why aren't people talking about this more, especially in the Black community?
Okay.
We don't really talk about the Black mom. It's very touchy on that subject.
Okay.
And I come from a place not of blame, but a place of generational empathy and understanding.
Okay.
So once I learned about this within my own journey,
Hmm.
it made me want to share it with my community.
Okay.
Mhm.
Good. 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 So I like the fact that you were transparent about your childhood and some of the issues
Mhm.
that you had to deal with, and you kind of uh, open up about just your own journey.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure there's people who are watching us today can relate to some of the struggles they may have had with their parents and connecting. Um, what were some things you did to find your path of healing?
Um, One of the things I went through a very um, just emotionally taxing divorce, and
Okay.
I realized it wasn't. I realized it was a me problem. I realized that um, I was holding a lot of expectations. I was holding a lot of damage and pain,
Mm,
and kind of getting to the end of that, I was forced to sit with myself,
okay.
and realize, like, okay, am I going to stay in this position or am I going to do something about it?
Right.
So I had a lot of quiet nights, which I know a lot of people on the healing journey they know about those quiet nights. They hurt, they're
Mm,
painful, you sit with yourself and your truth. And I realized I wanted to do something about it. So honestly, my journey started with deep digging into myself.
mm,
I didn't do the therapy route, which
hmm.
I'm not discouraging therapy. Obviously, I'm in school for clinical mental health.
Yes. Yes.
However, my journey was very much so isolating and kind of just peeling back the layers within myself and figuring out what I wanted to change. I
Mm,
always talk about editing yourself and
okay.
learning what needs to be shifted, what needs to be adjusted. Triggers are one of those things where we can find those edits,
Yes.
because our triggers and our emotions lead back to things that we need to change. They're often the messengers of, hey, we need to fix this, or we need to stop sweeping this under the rug. So just starting to peel those layers back. And then when I went back to school,
Hmm.
I started my journey with psychology, went through a personality course, and I love personality tests. I was so excited to take the one that they gave. It was on attachment,
Okay.
and it was on, I think it's called attachmentproject.com. It's a free test. If anybody's listening, it's free to
Okay.
go and take. And I don't work for them, but I love the site because it is free.
Right.
So I went and took the test, and they had us do a reflective paper after we discovered what attachment style we had.
Hmm.
I found out I was fearful avoidant, and it
Mm,
made so much sense. They asked
okay.
questions about your relationship with your mother. How did you feel about emotional security? Like, were you able to share? Were you reluctant to share?
Okay.
And just kind of peeling those layers back.
Yes.
And once I knew what it was, it's like, okay, now we can actually attack it. Now it has a face and a name, and this
Hmm.
is something that we can work on.
Wow. 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 I gotta give you some applause for
Thank you.
just sharing your journey. And what I find interesting was, everybody has a different journey to healing, and a lot of times people share that they did get some type of one-on-one therapy or group therapy or counseling, as some people would describe it. But it sounds like you kind of went on a self journey. So talk a little more about that. How does so you kind of how did you become emotionally aware that you needed to, get on this path? And I mean, I think it's very interesting that you kind of went on a self-paced, self-guided journey, so to speak.
To be honest with you, it was more so just a guide, a mental guide.
Okay.
A lot of the journey for healing is spiritual.
Okay.
So, I'm a believer, and some things just felt different. Like it felt like I needed to make shifts. It felt like I needed to make a change. Things that I wasn't happy about. I note take a lot. So I have in my phone just notes starting from like 2017 up till now of just things that I'm seeing within myself and making edits. So one of the things that worked for me was kind of tracing back the root of my story. So anytime that I felt triggered, I wrote my trigger down. It's like, okay, where is this coming from? Like, what am I feeling in this moment? Like, is it isolation? Is it like one of the biggest things that I struggle with is feeling like a burden to people. And I realized that was something that stemmed from the household. Anytime that I felt like a burden within the household, I shut down. And I was doing that in relationships. I was doing that in other areas of my life. And I'm like, okay, we know that this is an issue. We found the root. So how can we put things in place to kind of stop us when we get triggered on this moment? Because a lot of times what was happening is I was getting triggered and I was allowing that to kind of run the show. Instead of pausing.
This is you said attachment of feeling like you're a burden to someone. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's part of fearful avoidance.
Avoidance.
Just feeling like, I'm it's kind of that push and pull in a relationship where it's like, okay, I want to reach out, but I'm scared because this hasn't always been a safe space. So I'm gonna kind of detach.
Scared of rejection or
you could say that let down, rejection, not wanting to need people, things like that. And it all stemmed from, the relationship I had with my mom. So kind of processing through that and building the steps led to me being able to change those things within myself.
Okay. Is it fair to say that was your mom emotionally available for you or?
No. But me and my mother, I have to give her a shout out today because with all this knowledge, I was able to bring these things to her slowly and just slowly start to ask questions about her childhood, because a lot of times we get on our high horse and we say, well, our parents weren't there for us, or they did all these things.
But we don't know what trauma.
We don't know. We don't know what they went through. And oftentimes they're acting from their inner child, and what they didn't receive. So we actually kind of dove into the journey together and were able to mend our relationship.
Oh, that's good. Well, shout out to mending your relationship with mom. I hope for those who are watching, this is encouraging. And I see we do have some live viewers. So if you have a question for our guests or a comment about our topic, hopefully this will inspire you to go on your journey of personal healing and finding out. I like what you shared about those attachments, different things. So one was fearful avoidance. Was there another? And it was like a test, I think.
Yes. So there are. So there's fearful avoidant. There's anxious attachment styles, secure attachment, which is where we prefer to be.
Healthy attachment.
And then there's also earned secured attachment, which is what I would qualify as now. So I no longer have fearful avoidant, thank God.
All right.
I retook the test and I'm earned secured, which is something we can do in adulthood when we actually start to mend these wounds. We can actually have a secured relationship.
And then how can someone get access to this test? You said it was free. It's like an assessment.
I believe it is attachmentproject.com.
Attachment project.
Yep.
So if they Google or do, I go on ChatGPT now. I call it Chatty. I go to Chatty and type it in. Chatty is our code. That's a side note. That's a whole nother show. Okay. So great. So let's talk about how, on your own journey and your
Mhm.
personal journey of healing, self-discovery, self-awareness, increasing your emotional intelligence. I'm assuming you're doing research and everything, and
Mhm.
plus you're studying psychology in
Yep.
school, and then also in your master's program. So how uh, how did you lead to this current work that you're doing? When did you, at some point, did you found Heal Black Women at this time, or when?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So Heal Black Woman actually started as a Facebook group.
Oh, okay.
So I started a Heal Black Woman Facebook group, and it was more so just to create the space that I felt like I wanted along my healing journey.
Hmm.
A lot of times we heal in isolation,
Okay.
but as a community, as a people, that is not
Hmm.
our norm.
Okay.
Community, we thrive in community. We thrive in just holding each other up. So I wanted to build the space that I felt like I needed. So we started having events,
Hmm.
and we did like a bonfire release where we went and just
And it just
released
started as a
everything.
Facebook group, and
Yep,
you invited
yep.
people you knew, your Facebook
Invited people,
network.
shared it, and it grew. We are at a little over 300 members on
Okay.
Facebook.
Okay. And it's
Um,
called Heal Black Women.
yep. It's called Heal Black Woman.
Hmm.
But last year, I decided to switch it into a nonprofit.
Okay.
And with the help and encouragement of people around me, they're like, "Hey, this is something you could do."
Okay.
So I tackled that beast, and we are fully incorporated, which is
Okay.
awesome. But attachment theory was something that I wanted to bring to the forefront, because a lot of times when I was researching, even when I was doing the youth program and looking for videos to go with the programming, it
Yeah.
was from people that didn't look like us.
Right.
I didn't see a lot of representation in the area, and then even in the field
Mhm.
of psychology, most of it is just observed human behavior.
Right.
There's not a lot of personal ties and personal stories to the why of
Okay.
discovery. So I wanted to make sure to bring this to my community, because we have more than just attachment. We have rooted in slavery. So
Right.
one of the ladies that I love to read about is Dr. Joy DeGruy, who talks about post-traumatic slave syndrome. I talk
Okay.
about it all the time, because she talks about how a lot of the things that we are taught and the things that we're still practicing in our parenting stem from protection and survival.
Right. Right.
So bringing that piece and making healing accessible and culturally relevant was
Okay.
important to me.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Nope, that deserves
Thank you.
uh making healing culturally relevant and accessible, because
Mhm.
I come up in an era where now that counseling and therapy is now more acceptable and it's
Mhm.
not frowned upon, thanks to the work of some plenty of social media leaders,
Mhm.
and influencers, I would say, and just other advocates for mental health. But there was a time where going to a doctor to talk about your problems was frowned upon, and you could get talked about like something.
Mhm.
What's wrong? You crazy or something like that? You got to talk to someone.
And we're not fully out of those times
Yeah,
either. Yeah.
but I think people are more open, and then
Mhm.
people use, and some people use, unfortunately, their religious
Mhm.
activities as a source of healing, which is fine. That's cool. And they would go to the church, and sometimes these pastors or spiritual leaders may not have been thoroughly equipped.
Mhm.
They're using the best knowledge and resources they have.
Yeah.
But now I'm glad that we're at a place where it's okay to get professional help to
Yeah.
deal with childhood trauma, unhealthy attachments, as you
Mhm.
have discussed, and just things, and there's a great amount of resources now,
Mhm.
books, podcasts,
Yep.
YouTube videos to help
Mhm.
you. So there's a lot of resources. So what specifically did you provide to the community through Help Heal Black Women?
So I've created a curriculum where we need the awareness. So a lot of people don't even know what attachment healing is. So we talk about the mother wound. We talk about what attachment theory is, figure out what your attachment style is, and then we dive into fixing it and kind of going through the process of reclaiming yourself.
Hmm.
So some of the things we focus on is emotional regulation, because it's like, okay, I have this awareness, but I still have these triggers. How do
Hmm.
I handle that? What do I put in place when these come up? So we
Hmm.
talk about that. One of the things people do not talk about much with attachment, attachment is that emotional disconnect with the parent. And a lot of times we feel betrayed by a parent, but we're not talking about how that betrayal also makes us feel like we can't trust ourselves. Because a lot of us are still reaching out to a parent or still trying to get that relationship we crave. And then every time we don't get it, we blame ourselves. And that builds a lack of self-trust that starts to bleed into other areas of your life. But we don't discuss what that repaired relationship can look like and how to do that. So we talk about that. And we also talk about generational empathy. As I said, I don't ever want to bash the Black mom, the Black parents, because we have been through so much as a people. So building that understanding and acceptance, not saying that what happened to you was right, but allowing space for you and understanding of, okay, well, she was doing what she learned and her grandmother was doing what she learned, and then her grandmother was a slave. So it's tracing that back and having that generational understanding so that we can release that anger. Because a lot of the stuff that I went through in my young adulthood was out of anger, out of spite, but I was spiting myself in the process. So just kind of helping women heal through that process.
Now, do you provide these community connections online, in person, or?
We do online. So I am currently housed at Aya House. Shout out to Aya House.
Shout out to Aya House.
Yes, Aya House is amazing. Just an amazing. Yes, it is. It deserves all that.
Okay,
But just an amazing community space. I love the fact that it is Black owned, woman owned. And I host all my programming there, which Rhythmic Reflections Festival will also be held at Aya House. So we do once a month. We have our sessions.
Once a month. Okay. What I want to share with our audience, because we're going to transition to the festival and also your book and some other things here. I want to share the website that people can go to. I'm going to share my screen here so that people can see this. And here we go. Okay. All right. So they should be able to see the website. Let me add this, make sure this is added on here.
Yep. And we post all of our upcoming events on that site. You can learn more about us, join the community and all of that as well. Yep.
So when they go on the website, it says Healing Together, Thriving Together. Is this one of your sessions?
Yes. So that was actually one of the first sessions, and kind of a opening up of what Rhythmic Reflections is today. So side note that I don't tell everybody, but if you know me, you know, I am an artist. I sing and I put out my first album during the pandemic. I built my own studio in the house. Just kind of went for it. But the music that I made was a reflection of the things that I was going through, and just what I was processing through. I told somebody about it, and I did this album. They're like, "You should celebrate," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, we'll see." They're like, "No, you should celebrate." So
what kind of style of music?
I call it like a R&B affirmation type style. So it's
not neo soul or anything.
Like some of it depends. Honestly, it depends on what I'm feeling at the moment. Some of it was relational, but just the things that I was learning about myself within those relationships. Some of it was even speaking life into myself in places that I wasn't at currently. So just manifestation.
Do you play an instrument or you just vocal?
Just vocal, yeah. And sometimes I even rapped. I'm not a rapper.
All right. Well, that's how it came out.
But it just depends on how I'm feeling. And I'm so big on self-expression and allowing yourself to feel through, which is how Rhythmic Reflections was born.
Will you be performing it?
I will not. People keep asking me that. I am not. I'm doing so
I
many
want to hear your
music.
music.
I will drop the link. I will drop the link.
But
I'm doing so many things that day, and just running the event. Like I could pull it off, but do I want to? And do I have capacity? And it's okay to say no. That is a part of boundaries. It's okay to say no. But yes, so Rhythmic Reflections, that first event that's on that page. I actually took my album and we had an event around it where we dived into the different topics that were on the album. We discussed, we cried, we laughed, and it was beautiful. And it was one of those glimpses of like, like this is something, it's something here. So fun fact, every single workshop that we have that dives into attachment comes with a song. I always open up with a song that relates to what we're going through. So like, for instance, we did, when we talked about emotional regulation training, we did Bag Lady by Erykah Badu and talked about emotional baggage. So music is very much still a part of my life.
Okay, cool. And I see that there's a way on your website people can connect with you. So what happens if they provide their first name, email? Is there a newsletter or something, or how does that?
Yep, it's an inquiry. So usually I send them information about joining the group, the Facebook group. Some people have asked more about the workshop, so it comes to me directly. So I will get it. I'm still very boots on the ground, so you will be connecting with me. But yeah, so that's a way where you could just get more information, ask questions. Yeah.
Okay. And I think there's another group. You guys are doing some painting or something?
Yes. So that's actually an event we've done a few times called Repainting Your Story.
Okay.
So I actually did one of those events with Black Leaders Detroit a few years ago for a community festival. And we start with trauma mapping. So we put a big tarp on the table and have people kind of map out where things began.
Yes.
And once they kind of process those things, we talk about it, then they repaint who they want to become. So it's just a quick little exercise to kind of get you thinking about, okay, where did this stuff begin and who do I want to be now? Okay,
great. All right. So I think we covered everything about how people can connect. And your meetings are usually at Aya House. 2055 Gratiot Avenue, Detroit, Michigan. And they put the information in. You'll email them about upcoming events and how they can be part of this community.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we want to kind of go in. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to go into the festival and then talk about your book.
All right.
All right. So we got a quick few announcements, and we'll be right back with our guests. Thank you for those who are watching us live. If there's anything you want to ask in the chat, please do so, or comment or shout out. Also, if you're finding value in what we're doing, please like, share, subscribe. We definitely appreciate it. It's supporting, by doing so, you support independent media, and we're able to put out this positive content. Hey, Detroit. Are you a Detroit area small business owner, entrepreneur, leader of a nonprofit organization, or a business service provider? And are you looking for ways to share your product, service, or your programs with a local Detroit audience? Let us help you increase your reach by becoming an ad sponsor with the Detroit Metro Plug podcast powered by Empower You Ventures. Our weekly video podcast is a growing local feature on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn that focuses on local business and community news. This gives you a chance to connect with local Detroit customers or clients. We offer cost-effective ads to fit your needs. Click the link to learn more about our current ad specials. And remember, connections matter. This is Charlie the Plug with the Detroit Metro Plug podcast.
Black Leaders Detroit, they knew that during the pandemic, that Black businesses were going to be left out of any type of funding that the government gave, and they wanted to make sure that they were able to figure out how they could step up and help, because again, this is their community, and they want to make sure that their community is still here when this pandemic is over with. And the only way you can do that is by offering support to your community, and so they stepped up and they did that.
I've been telling everyone I know about Black Leaders Detroit. The things that they're doing is simply amazing. And they're taking care of business for the Black business owners.
It's $1 a week donation to keep this great thing moving. $1 a week keeps it popping. Black Leaders Detroit.
All right. So we're back. Episode 155. We've had our guests here asking questions about her mental health journey. So shout out to Jazzmin Pitts. She's been sharing about her organization that she started, kind of birthed out of her own spiritual and mental health journey. Yeah, it's called the Heal Black Woman. It started out as a Facebook group and now a nonprofit, and they do monthly events and build community, those who are seeking to be healed. And most of the events are at Aya House in Detroit on Gratiot, near the Eastern Market district area in Detroit. So I want to go into this festival that you have coming up, and I'm going to share the slide here. Okay, here we go. All right, so tell us more. Our audience can see this festival, Rhythmic Reflections. Tell us a little bit about the backstory about that, and what can they expect, and who is this for?
Yes. So, as I mentioned, Rhythmic Reflections kind of started with my own music, where we kind of dive deep into each song, talked about the story behind the song, and just had so much expression, community. We cried, we laughed, and people were able to identify with different topics. I've also done this event for a music video release that I did in 2024 called You Don't Know, where we got together. I played the video and we kind of had discussion around that. So this is that on a grander scale. One of the biggest things for me, and we talk about it all the time in my friend groups and at the job, just about having healthy sources of dopamine and how important that is, especially to the healing journey. So I wanted this to be just dopamine explosion, immersive wellness festival where people can come and feel their way through. So we have different artists around the city. Some of them are including Bryce the Third. We have Jay Pitts, Lola Marie, and Lauren Nicole. And then
They're doing music,
so
spoken word,
they'll be doing music, and then they'll be giving the story behind the song. So just having that reflective moment of what this song means to them, what it meant to their healing journey, and talking about that. We also have a sound healing session that will be opening up the event. We have movement, and then we also have a live collective painting by a local muralist and artist, and my friend Daniel Gaines. He's amazing. So he'll be doing a painting on site, and people will be able to come up and contribute to the painting. And I'm carefully curating everything for this event to make sure that it's inclusive of our introverts, our extroverts. I was one of the people that used to get very shy in big rooms. So even with the small details and letting people know, like, hey, this is where I'm at. I'm open to conversation, not open to conversation, little things like that, just making it intentional so that everybody is seen and heard and felt, and that we can have a great experience.
And they can find this on Eventbrite, right?
Yep, it's on Eventbrite. The link is there, I believe. Yes. But also, so we're doing lots and lots of promo, just trying to get the word out there. So what I've been doing and will be doing all the way up to the event every weekend is going out to local businesses around the city, local communities, and placing stickers and flyers. So we have already hit some communities last weekend. And this is what the flyers look like. You can see it on the website, but this is the flyer. If you find this flyer or you find a sticker and you take a picture with it and put hashtag Rhythmic Reflections, we are offering a free ticket to the event. So just a way to
Hold
highlight.
Up the flyer one more time.
Yes.
Put in the camera and make sure.
That's the flyer, y'all.
And where can I get that flyer?
Well, I can't tell you where, so I will be dropping clues online.
So how do they follow you online? Or?
Yep. So you can follow me at the Attachment Healer on Instagram.
Let me put that up.
All of my information by Facebook, LinkedIn. Well, more so Facebook and Instagram.
So where I don't have the Facebook up. So where do they follow you on Facebook?
So Facebook is just, I think it's my middle name on there,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
Jazzmin Victoria.
Jazzmin Victoria.
Yep. But I've been posting. I'll be posting clues each week as to where they're placed.
Okay.
So we already had one found that was at Tropical Smoothie.
Okay.
So we're just trying to get the word out, trying to include the community. I've been so appreciative of the businesses because they've been welcoming and saying, yeah, like you could play some here.
Yeah.
So it's been really nice. Yeah.
Okay. And you'll drop clues on your Instagram
Yes.
as well.
Yep.
And we have the audience, they can see that. And it's at the
attachment healer. Yep.
Yeah, the attachment healer. So make sure you follow. You built up a nice audience. It's almost 15K followers.
It's been a while coming.
Yeah. So
consistency and trying to grow, because that used to be cool, but now people got the millions and stuff. So still working.
So follow Instagram, LinkedIn. So Instagram and Facebook is where you drop the clues. Okay. All right. So you get that. And but when I was looking at this, is it $25 is a ticket?
Yep, $25, $35 for VIP.
Okay.
VIP comes with a special bag that has different things in there.
Okay. And that's $35 for VIP?
Yep. So try to make it affordable. Yes, try to make it affordable, accessible.
And it's on a Sunday. What times?
Yep, 4 to 8.
4 to 8.
4 to 8. Yep.
Oh, that's good. That's good. At the Aya House, right there on Gratiot. Okay, near Eastern Market. And man, that sounds like an event. Is there now? I know you were working on some type of promo code. So
yes, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. So for those who are watching the show,
yes, or anybody who's watching today, if you use the code, I gotta look at your thing, DMPP. Yes, DMPP. You will get 15% off your ticket, and that's until tomorrow.
So if I go on there and put DMPP, on Eventbrite,
yep. You will
get 15% off.
15% off.
All right. So those who are watching, you have until
tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Tomorrow at 9 p.m. So you want to sign up. So you go on Eventbrite. They just type in Rhythmic Reflections in Detroit, and then it should come up with the link. They can also follow you on socials that we showed on the screen. And they can sign up. And what's our goal? We're trying to pack the house out. What's the capacity?
Yes. So the goal I would be satisfied and happy with 75 to 80 guests.
75. We can do that. Come on,
Detroit. I would be pushing. Yes.
75 or 80 guests. Okay. Yes, you have till tomorrow, 9 p.m. You get 15% off. Yes. And that includes also on the VIP as well?
Yes, it does.
15% off for those who are watching. So if you watch today and watch the replay, you have that. And we'll leave the link for the replay for the Eventbrite. So then, but even if you don't get the discount, I mean, for a positive, uplifting event, connecting with like-minded people who are all on their journey for wellness and being healed and getting positive dopamines. Yes. Positive dopamines. I don't think you're gonna have any other dopamines there, right?
No. We would not have any other dopamine. I mean, we got some food. We got
some food. Okay.
That's dopamine. And then we also have wellness vendors. And some special surprises too. I'm dropping a couple.
Now, is there still? Can people still sign up to be a vendor, or is it already?
We have been getting. So I started with the vendors that I kind of sought out, but as of like the last 2 weeks, we have been getting vendor requests flooding in.
Oh wow! Wow!
Yeah, so that's cool.
So you're sold out on the vendor space.
I am looking for an additional food vendor, preferably with vegan and vegetarian options.
All right, so those who are watching, vegan, vegetarian option vendors, reach out.
Also looking for, I got a couple.
Here's our email here. They can email you.
Yes.
If you're a vendor, vegan or vegetarian option, jpitts at hbwomen.org.
Yep. Okay. And then I'm looking for some healthy juice options too.
Healthy juice option. Yep. Okay. All right. So we want to get the word out. And I'm pretty sure because it's July 13th next month. You got about 4 weeks. I'm pretty sure you're gonna sell out. Yeah, I'm gonna see I
appreciate that. Yes,
I see a flyer on your Instagram says sold out.
Yes, look, I receive it.
Yes, 80 people.
I receive it.
Yeah. Is this gonna be an annual thing?
Yes, it
possibly?
is. Yes,
You may have to get a bigger space next year. You never know.
That's the plan. Like I really want to grow this into something that is for the city. I really love just bringing things like this to the forefront. And spaces for us, by us. But this is also inclusive of everyone else.
Okay.
But it is very much so created for our community.
Okay.
So I'm looking to build upon it. Yep.
And who's this? I mean, you kind of hit on it. And you talked about who's it for and what they expect to get out of it. What do you hope is the takeaways from this event?
I'm hoping that people leave feeling lighter, that they feel seen, and that they know that spaces like this exist for them.
Okay.
I really just want everybody to have a good time, to feel included, and for it to go on for years to come.
All right. So now let's go into as we kind of wrap things up. You have a book that's going to drop, or is it in the process? You finished the book?
Yes, I finished
your first book.
It is my first book.
All right, so you have the book with you.
I do. So the book is called Healing Your Hidden Child. I feel like Vanna.
Yes.
Healing Your Hidden Child from Guarded to Grounded. Fun fact, the muralist who will be on site actually designed the cover of this book. He's been painting, or he has done a couple paintings of me before. So this was just a full circle moment in our friendship, in our journey. So shout out again to Daniel Gaines, amazing artist.
We were showing a slide now, so people can see that.
But yeah, this is my first book. It is not long, so do not expect a whole novel. It is not long, and it is intentionally not long because I wanted it to be digestible. I wanted it to be a guide for people where you can pick it up, you can read it, and you can digest it and learn it and apply it to your journey. So there's space in there for reflection. There's space for you to kind of just figure and feel your way through. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, I love to read, but I know that sometimes you pick up a book and it's like, oh, I'm almost done, but I couldn't get through it. And I didn't want that to be a barrier either. So just made it very digestible for the audience.
Okay. And how do they get the book?
So the book will be on Amazon. I have not dropped a link for that yet. However, I will be at Rhythmic Reflections signing the book because it actually comes out the same day.
Okay.
So
yep. You have a table.
Yep. So you can get your copy.
What's the cost of the book?
The book is $20.
$20.
Yep, $20. So affordable. I try to keep everything.
You gotta have at least 100 copies.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We're gonna have it there.
Somebody may buy one for someone else.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll have it there for your aunties, your cousins,
your
grandmothers.
Signed copy.
Yep. So they will be there. Yep.
All right. And now I want to show people as we wrap up how they can connect with you. The website there for Heal Black Women, there right there, www.hbwomen.org. If you're interested in connecting directly with our guests for booking or speaking or presentations or learn more about her work, you can email her, jpitts@hbwomen.org. You can follow her on social, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram that we have there. Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this festival and all the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Any closing? Did I cover everything? I want to make sure
you did. You
all
got it all.
right.
But I will like to say, I've just thought about it. Like this would be a great time to say, I will be at Black Leaders Detroit Liberation Link Up event for Juneteenth Jubilee. So the great thing about that space, and shout out to Black Leaders Detroit because they're always creating spaces and kind of bridging the gap with funding. So with that, I will be pitching my business in the space to different people in the room. And if you vote for me, I have an opportunity to receive a grant on site. So that is amazing. I'm excited about that opportunity. And I'll also be working with them for the event the next day. And I'll be doing a workshop on healing as well. So,
and where would that be at?
I got to get back to you with that. I'll give you the flyer.
Okay.
But yes.
We'll follow you on social. We'll
I will be posting it on all my socials, LinkedIn, everything. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So our platform is about giving people their flowers while they're here and celebrating the positive contributions. And you're definitely a difference maker here in Detroit, which, you went through your own journey of healing. self-discovery, became more self-aware, increase your emotional intelligence. And now you're using that experience that God brought you through to help others. And I just want to applaud you and say thank you for the work you're doing, and just wish you much success.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. And thank you for being a guest on the podcast. And I'm looking forward. I'm gonna have to get one of those tickets.
Please
being
do.
a guest and
Please. I would love
support
to have you
and
there.
share with my friends. And
Yes.
that's a great day, because Sunday afternoon or evening, I'm usually flexible. It's usually not a lot going on, because I go to church during the day, and then usually in the evening.
Yeah, you can go to church and you can come get poured into, get some dopamine.
Get double dopamine.
Yes.
Get spiritually fed and
yes.
Get emotionally encouraged at the event. Let me share that again with our audience. So you can go to Eventbrite.
Yes.
Just type in Rhythmic Reflections, Harmony and Healing. Get your tickets while they last. You have until Thursday to use the promo code DMPP.
Yep.
You get 15% off. You have that until Thursday at 9:00. And be sure to follow our guests on socials. So thank you again for those who are watching. And if you're finding value in what we're doing, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and support what's going on in Detroit. And remember, connections matter. That ends our podcast. Next week, I'll be interviewing one of the Detroit mayor candidates. I'll disclose who's running for mayor, and we'll have an exclusive interview. So stay tuned next Wednesday. You'll find out who that is. So with that being said, have a good night, everyone. And that concludes our podcast, and see you next Wednesday. Everyone be blessed.
See ya.
Hey, everyone. This is Charlie the Plug, your host of the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, powered by Empower You Ventures. Don't forget to subscribe so you too can be a part of the biggest empowerment network on YouTube and Facebook. We bring you weekly interviews of Detroit difference makers in the area of entrepreneurship, community involvement, also reaction to business news and community news. This does not happen without your support. Thank you.